fuckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oi. Alright. Let's talk about the last couple days while I get ready. Now, it is currently, I think, like 6 p.m. and I'm only now getting ready. I'm back in New York. Spoilers. Also, I'm like breaking out a little bit into like a little bit of a rash on my face, and my skin is not the greatest right now, but I don't blame my skin because there have been a lot of things going on. So we're just going to do our routine and we're going to talk. I've, did one of these a couple days ago, so I apologize for doing one right after, but I didn't think that I was going to have an update for you as soon as what we do. So if you watched that video, you know that I came out to New York for New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and I had a really good New Year's Eve. And then the couple hours after, I got a call that my granny died. And it was just really hard, obviously, and being away from your family when your family are grieving, and it was not a great start to the year. We don't need to rehash. We're working through our emotions, we're doing all the rest. So I then decided that so in the video I said as well that like there was like a lot of really stressful things going on that I like couldn't talk about right now. They all had to do with my work visa. So I'm coming out to America to do the tour in February, like a month's time, right? And we had the visa all ready to go, but then an issue came up with the visa, the work visa, and it just it was all consuming, calls every day, long conversations with lawyers. It was just not great. So to kind of put into perspective, I was watching my granny's funeral on fucking live stream, and midway through the live stream, I get a call from my lawyer, and it's like a 2-hour long conversation of just stressful news. But anyways, I was like really kind of I was at a breaking point. So many things were like going wrong at once that I was like, okay, I was gonna, stay in New York another week, which is this week, and we're back in New York. So I was like, let me fly to LA. I got invited to a Selena Gomez event. Her brand, it's their 5 years of rare beauty. And I got invited to it, and it was on the 10th of January. So I was like, oh my God, I'll go out to LA and go to that. And I didn't know if I was going to get to meet Selena Gomez again or whatever. But I was just really grateful that I was able to get invited to an event. It's exciting. I don't really get invited to a lot of things, so, And then I was going to have a meeting yesterday with a manager because obviously I'm in the process of, the tour and all these different things, and I want to, stay on in America once the tour is over, but I kind of need a professional repping for me and sponsoring me. That's how it works with visas. So the easiest way for me to do that is get a manager. So I was going to have a meeting with a manager yesterday morning, and then I was going to film with Rosanna Pansino this weekend, and I was also going to film with Joshua David Evans this weekend. And it was going to be a really fun trip. I was going to meet up with RCL Beauty, Rachel Levins for dinner. Me and Lauren Gray were going to go to dinner yesterday night. And I arrive out in LA on, I think, like a Monday or something like that. Yeah, I arrive on a Monday, and God, the weather was beautiful. I was so excited to be back in LA. I really just hold such a soft and special place in my heart for LA. I really love LA. And then on Tuesday, I went to SUR. Now, if you know, Vanderpump Rules, I'm going to open this door because it's hot as balls in here. If you know, Vanderpump Rules, and SUR and Lisa Vanderpump, you will know of SUR, the restaurant. Now, I have been to SUR many times. It is my mom's favorite show, and she kind of introduced me to the world of reality TV with Beverly Hills and, you know, Vanderpump Rules, and I love it all. I love it all. So anytime I'm there, I go to the restaurant, and it is really funny to me because whenever we first went, it was me and my mum in 2022, I think. 2022, my mum was like educating me on the lore of like what the significance of the restaurant is, and I didn't get it. And then I started watching the show, and I don't know when, I think it was last year, I went to Sir, and I had like tagged them on my Instagram story, and the manager, not Lisa Vanderpump, but Guillermo, came up to my table and like introduced himself and was like, thank you for like posting on your Instagram story that you were here. And I was like, what the hell? Of course. And we followed each other on social media, and then I just kept going to Sir over the 2023, 2024, and now 2025. And Guillermo would always be there, and he would always come and sit at my table and like catch up with me, and we would kiki, and I was like, oh my god, if my mom was here right now, she'd be freaking the hell out. And so I have, you know, gotten closer with a lot of the Sir staff and like the Sir management over the last couple of years. And then I went on Tuesday, and it was relatively quiet on Tuesday. So whenever I walked in, Guillermo immediately saw me, and he came over, and we were just talking for ages. And then I, you know, was talking to one of the main guys who is going to be on the new show because they're creating a new Vanderpump Rules. And I love him so much. And anyways, I go to my table and I start posting on my McIntyre's dump, which is like my Mucker's Finsta that I'm in Sir. And I'm like, guys, the manager is sitting opposite me right now. And whenever I first walked in, he immediately made me take a photo with him, which again, within itself is really funny to me, considering that the last time that me and my mom were at Sir, my mom was like begging to take a photo with him. All right, I'm trying to figure out which brush is which. I think this is the one for not my cheeks. Yeah, this is the one for my cheeks. So I went in and he asked to take a photo with me. So then I posted on my McIntyre's dump, and I was like, he's about to post this photo with me. Like, guys, go comment on it or something and be like, oh my god, is Adam McIntyre Sir? Like, all of us trolling. And I didn't expect people to actually do it. But long story short, the photo that they people like commented on one of their posts from like a couple days ago. And we're like, oh my god, Adam McIntyre spotted, de moi exclusive, like all this funny shit. And then it started getting really out of hand. And I mean, their post that was like a photo of like their food had like 200 or 300 comments randomly of muckers just being really funny and being like, Adam McIntyre, what does Adam McIntyre order? Like all these just like really stupid shit, right? And he came over to the table and he was like, oh my god. He was like, your fans know you're here. And he was like, is that okay? And I went, yeah, that's okay. Little does he know, I told everyone. So he's like, oh my god, can we film a TikTok? And now I'm like 2 pumptinis down, which is like their really strong cocktails. So I was like, sure. And so he makes me film this TikTok with them, and it's on Sir's Instagram right now. I think they're called like Sir Reels or something like that. If you go over and comment. We filmed that, and he was all to me. He was like, I've just told Lisa about you, like Lisa Vanderpump or whatever, because we're talking about the possibility of Lisa coming on my podcast, which is insane, to promote the upcoming Vanderpump show. I love Lisa Vanderpump so fucking much. My mom loves her so much, and I just really enjoy going to Sir every time I go there. The goat cheese balls, the Vanderpump Rosé, the pumptini. Oh my goodness. And I just love reality TV. So anyways, they post this TikTok with me, like this Instagram reel, and the comments on it are going crazy. Like the muckers, like I reshared it to the Finsta, and like, again, hundreds of comments. And he's just like, I see him at the bar, and he's like, scrolling, and he keeps coming over to the table being like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And so anyways, he then comes over to the table like an hour later, like I'm just like eating and drinking. And I'm on my own during all this, by the way. And he comes over with the Sir uniform that they wear on the show, and he was like, do you want to put this on and take photos and we'll post them on Instagram? And I'm me drunk at the stage, sure! So anyways, we then take photos in the Sir uniform and they post it, which is so funny because everyone in the comments is like, that aren't my audience are like, oh my god, is this one of the new members of the new show? And I'm like, I wish, honey. Please put me on a reality TV show. Give me a situationship and a dream, baby. I'll give you reality TV. So anyways, that was like a really, really, really fun night. But after it, I went out and I went to a karaoke bar, and then I went to somewhere in Studio City, which is like a different area of LA. And during the night at like 1 a.m., the power cuts in the venue that we were in. And it was really scary. I mean, you're in this big bar and all the lights just turn off. I mean, it's a little bit fucking jarring, if I'm being completely honest with you. But that should have been a sign of what was to come. Now, there was a little bit of winds and stuff whenever I first arrived in LA, but I don't think the fires had started yet. I don't think they'd started yet. No. Or if they had, they weren't being talked about, if you know what I mean. So that was a sign of what was to come. I wake up the next day and LA is burning. Like, LA is burning up. Oh my god, my rash makes it look like I already have fucking blush on. Maybe I'll just put less on that side. Yeah, LA is burning up. Like, fully in flames everywhere, and I woke up to all these calls from my parents, and I was like, oh my god, who died? You know what I mean? Fuck me. And they're like, LA's on fire, Adam. And I immediately like run up and look out my balcony, and in the distance, I'll show you, it was just almost like the comical like bomb, you know, look of the immediate smoke. So yeah, this is the first thing I see when I open my blinds, like right outside my balcony. And so I'm like talking with my parents, and I'm like, shit, what did I do? I just arrived here. And, you know, I'm in a hotel as well, and I know people out in LA, but I don't know anyone enough that I could like evacuate to them. So it was like a little bit, you know, very hectic over the course of like 2 hours, and we were just kind of moderating the situation. And, you know, I was staying in Hollywood, so the fires weren't with us, they were around us. So we were getting the smoke kind of like coming around us, not on us. So I was just kind of like figuring out what was going to happen, and like it seemed like it was going to all pass us, but I was still being very, you know, diligent. And the day before, whenever I was walking to Sir, you know, there was so many like, okay, really? What is going on with my cheeks here? It's so not cute. There's so many like trees falling on the road and stuff from the wind. So a little bit of fire, you know, picked up with those winds. I mean, it was a recipe for fucking disaster. And so anyways, I was just kind of like moderating and reviewing the areas, and it just, and then I started texting everyone. I, you know, immediately reached out to Rosanna. I'm texting Josh, I'm texting Lauren, I'm texting the manager I was supposed to meet up with, I'm texting my friend Elizabeth, I'm texting my friend Taylor, I'm texting fucking everyone, because I know that everyone's in different areas of LA, making sure that everyone's safe. And I was just like telling everyone like, hey, I'm currently in Hollywood, we are fine for right now, like if you need somewhere to come to, like come to my hotel, come one, come all. And it was really, really, I was so scared not hearing responses from people, because the news was literally just, the news was just house burning after house burning after house burning after fucking Walmart's burning down, fast food places burning down, entire apartment complexes burning down, entire fucking districts of LA burning down. And I started hearing responses from people, and nonetheless, it was very scary. And then the clouds started getting more and more in WeHo and Hollywood, kind of where I was staying. And there's just kind of a lot of ash, and the air was terrible. I cannot fathom how bad the air must have been if you were like in the immediate fire zones, because the air was so bad, and we were, you know, a little bit away from it. It's crazy. LA looked like, yesterday it looked like there was a sunset from about 9 a.m. because of the fire, and the smoke was kind of creating this. It was the most apocalyptic experience ever. And So anyways, that smoke kind of keeps getting closer and closer to where I was, because I was kind of like up in Hollywood, and I ultimately made the decision that I was gonna evacuate because, you know, I have nowhere to go to in terms of like I couldn't stay at anyone's house or whatever. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to the airport. So I like pack up all my stuff and I go to the airport, and the drive to the airport was so apocalyptic because we were driving towards where all the fires were at that stage, down by, you know, the water and stuff and the Santa Monica's and whatever. And it was just like we had to turn off the air coming into the car because it was just kind of like smoke air. And you were just driving past things in flames, smoking, and it was like the look of the end of the world. Like, we're driving past and there's people, you know, wearing like the huge industrial white face masks, you know, like running out of their cars, abandoning their cars. And I get to the airport, and oh my god, first of all, I get out of the car at the airport and there's like smoke and fog everywhere, right? And I go to walk in to check in, and someone's outside smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, really? Like, no? You're smelling the air out here and you want it? Also, the air quality was, to kind of say how bad the air quality was, I think I took a screenshot. So where I was yesterday, the air quality was 408. Air quality index is 408, which is quite literally at the end of the worst that it can be. It was awful. It was really, really, really bad. And anyways, I get to the airport, and I actually went to the airport before I even had a flight. I don't drive, I don't have a car, I didn't really have anywhere to go, so I was like, I would rather stay at the airport the remainder of this trip than be like locked into Hollywood. Did someone just knock on my door? No. That was weird. I was like, I would rather be locked there, because ultimately what did happen was I buy a ticket to New York. There were no international flights available for me to go back to London. So I was like, right, I'll go back to New York. I flew with United for the first time. I always get nervous flying with new airlines because I never know what to expect. But I got like a premium economy seat. It was one of the only ones left. And let me tell you something. It was really, really, really nice. Let me grab my powder really quick. But anyways, so yeah, I would say that I like really recommend United. I mean, I would love to fly with them again. The seat was really comfortable. So I get my ticket and I go through the airport. Oh god, there's a lot of powder. Hello? My goodness. And the airport is like really, really, really quiet. I was like shocked that flights were like even happening. Not that I was shocked that flights were leaving LA. I was shocked that flights were still coming into LA all day. Like, there was these footage of people flying over LA and you just see it all burning. Like, I don't know. It was interesting that they weren't halting flights into the city. Specifically because you couldn't move around in the city. And so I'm sitting at LAX, and it's the craziest thing. Every single TV in that airport is playing just footage of LA burning down, and up until that point, I had only been in like the smoke sections. But when I'm sitting down at a bar at the restaurant, Hollywood, like Upper Hollywood where I was, gets an evacuation notice. So I would have had to evacuate if I stayed in my hotel. So I was really grateful that I had made the decision to go to the airport. We got evacuation notice because, is it Runyon Canyon, I think it's called? It started burning up. And it started burning up very, very, very quickly. And people were, you know, trying to escape Hollywood and WeHo, but then there were so many people on the roads that the cars were getting stuck, and it was just bad. It was bad. And then Studio City went up in flames, which is where I was the night before when the power cut. Studio City went up in flames. And one by one, I'm just reaching out to like all of my friends who I know are in specific areas. And I have a lot of friends that live in Studio City. And I just like, I was trying to fucking call everyone. And I was like, if you need anything, like I can leave the airport. And like, it was just really, really, really scary. And I think what was just so crazy as well is like, first of all, I was able to get out of there and I was able to be safe. And I'm so grateful for that. But I was saying to my friend, I was like, there's something really crazy about on the news, they're showing footage of like all these houses burning down and they're showing them and they're going, oh, there goes another one. And then they're like, across the road, there's another one. And I'm like, I understand how shocking it is just watching houses burn down, but like each of those houses is someone's home with their memories. And it just ended up turning into like this over exposure of the media of, there were so many houses burning down that it was kind of losing the significance for the media. So it kind of just turned into, oh, another one. Not in a celebrating thing, but just kind of like, I need to sneeze. Sorry. It was like their way of being like, this is how bad it is in the areas. But it was like, everything was happening so fast that it was just kind of, like each of those houses was someone's home. And their memories and their shit is inside of it. And there was just something really fucking scary as well about the fact that I just can't wrap my head around the fact of how many vulnerable people were not able to evacuate. And whatever that means. And something that I just like cannot stop thinking about is how many fucking animals are out there that have like died in this. Like, how many people left animals in their house? How many animals just got displaced? How many animals, like, the smoke and air was so bad where I was, but I was away from it by the time that I really got out of it for the most part. Like, imagine being in that and like, it's scary and it's devastating and it's horrifying that the world is dealing with something like this in general, but it's even more horrifying that we're dealing with like these huge wildfires in winter. That's not good. It's not good that we should be dealing with them anyways, but it's really not good that we're dealing with them in winter. And the damage that has been done to LA is, I mean, the footage coming out of LA is so shocking. And my heart just breaks for everyone out there. And again, it's like people are losing everything in this. They're losing their homes, they're losing their cars, they're losing family members, people are dying, they're losing animals. Like, it really is very, very, very fucking scary. And obviously I'm very lucky and very grateful that I was able to get out of that, but it's a very privileged thing. Not a lot are able to, most aren't. And I just want to say, if anyone was affected in it or anything, please let me know down below and we can try our best as muckers to figure something out. If anyone has any GoFundMes or whatever, feel free to leave them down below. It's a really, really, really scary and sad time, and it's a really, really, really shitty communally kick-off to the year for everyone. Could you imagine at the start of the year, your house burns down? Your entire neighborhood burns down? Like, that's something as well. These neighborhoods are burning down. Yeah, the houses are burning down. People's schools are burning down. Your local library is burning down. Your local college is burning down. Your local supermarkets are burning down. This is, there have been fires in LA before but not to this scale. And it's just scary thinking that we may possibly be entering a new period, specifically within America, of government that will not be taking climate change seriously. Because things are only going to get worse. And not to be so pessimistic, but maybe we're being realistic. So I just wanted to update everyone. I know a lot of people were messaging being like, Adam, you're in LA right now. I got out. I am now back in New York. I'm really happy to be back in New York. I'm really just grateful to be safe. And luckily, everyone that I know out in LA is safe right now. Luckily, none of my friends lost their homes. A lot of them are still evacuated away from their homes, but their houses are still standing. I just want to give a little update. And again, if anyone needs anything, comment it down below and we'll try our best. But muckers, I'm going to love and leave you. I will see you in my next one, and just stay safe, whatever that means. Okay, bye.